Hello, everyone. My name is Connor O'Brien, and today I will be talking to you about the wonders of Module 6, which is the chapter of attitude measurement. So, many of you may ask, what does attitude measurement even have to do when it comes to the spectrum of communication as a life field study? Well, obviously, attitude measurement is more than just attitude. It's sender receiver based communication, and we're constantly altering the ways that we act with each other based on the responses and signals that we're getting or data that we're collecting. So, things that you might prompt yourself to ask is, what does attitude measurement have to do with communication? How is dealing with someone's attitude shape the way you have sent or received a message? Or what do scales look like when it comes to the methods of attitude measurement and communication? Well, when you look at the term measurement and attitude measurement for this chapter, we are given a various set of scales, such as the Likert scale, the Gutman scale, the semantic differential. There's multiple ways that you could assess incoming information that you would receive from whether it be one person, a party, or etc. when it comes to forms of communication. But it allows us to gather intel so that we could better create and evolve ourselves in the moment or later on to respond better to what we are being prompted. So if you take, for example, the Likert scale, it asks a series of whether it be detailed or general questions and has you state your opinion via a number scale. Typically, many of you have seen this type of scale where it prompts you with a certain question and you're posed to answer on a various number line that goes from highly disagree to highly dislike all the way to the other end of the spectrum, which is highly agree and highly likable. How does this help us gather information, though? Gathering information when it comes to a full set of all these answers coming together allows us to know what the individual answering these questions has when it comes to their opinions, their mindset, and how they feel communication or various topics should be handled, which better allows us to create a form-fitting response that they will understand and be willing to absorb. So let's see. If you were to look at the Likert scale, just because when reading through this chapter, I thought it was one of the easier scales to use and one of the more common ones that you see. I remembered when I was at my place of work and we were thinking about moving out a certain vendor and bringing in a new buyer, but we were worried that it wouldn't create much buy-on and drive low volume for us due to the fact that it could be little knowledge to the average person who maybe doesn't constantly view themselves in the retail world and doesn't know about all the new upcoming trends, stylists, and pieces that are out there for the next season. So we prompted a Likert scale based on various questions that would allow you to answer and us gather information when it came to, would you be okay with us moving out a certain buyer? How would you feel if this piece was missing? How would you feel if this piece was brought in? And what do you think it would mean for your dressing style if these pieces were available to you? Once we compounded most of these, it allowed us to take in the decision that we were moving in the right direction and giving a voice to our customers to be heard and listened to via something so simple like the Likert scale, which is such a commonplace test, that we could indeed move out this buyer and actually bring in a new local vendor that is driving great volume for our business, and so many people feel like they're doing a good deed because they're supporting a small business owner who struck it lucky and is working with a big company. So, like I said before, Likert scales are some of the most commonplace measures that you've seen implemented in the world today, and it allows various realms of both business, medical, personal, academic features to gather intel and your opinion on a matter and what it really means to you so that they can better see how they need to communicate with you via what you will understand and what you take to heart and what you feel is most important on topics that you carry near and dear to you, to the world, or how you think things should be treated and completed. So I feel like when you take in the terms of attitude measurement, there are many realms of communication that could be used in this field. And I felt learning that there are different scales that we could use to make this more simple than just trying to take in things like nonverbal cues and body language to gather intel or different forms of communication that we could use for these matters was amazing. So hopefully you liked learning about Module 6 with me. I thought it was really interesting, and I look forward to seeing the rest of your videos that you guys post.